Right now at noon, cleanup efforts continue in southwest Missouri as the National Weather Service releases their findings on Sunday's severe storms.
And Mother Nature giving us an opportunity to do that cleanup without much of a headache. A warm and sunny day for us. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, Miami roads reopen after flooding, but park areas remain underwater. The mayor's concerns about dam releases.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. The Joplin City Council put the fate of the old Freeman building up to a vote. Last night, the council voted on 2 emergency ordinances last night, one to remove asbestos at the property and another to demolish the building on South Sargent. These ordinances are listed as an emergency for the immediate preservation of public health and welfare. Both emergency ordinances passed unanimously. Now, last August, a city effort to use federal grant funds to demolish the building was unsuccessful. The plan now is to demolish the building, then build 2 level duplexes for veterans and seniors. The Economic Security Corporation will work with Habitat for Humanity on the project.
It would cost like several millions of dollars just to get it to working order, to be honest. I mean, all the windows to be replaced, structural issues that might be in the building. It's just it's honestly more of an investment that's just not worth taking.
Now, the total cost for demolition and asbestos removal is estimated at more than $400,000. Now let's head over to Chris Warner for a look at the forecast.
We've had a pretty fantastic day so far. Temperatures warming up, the skies clearing out. Still a few high clouds, but nothing to obstruct the sunshine. Of course, our camera downtown Pittsburgh, 4th and Broadway. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline in Joplin. Looking back to the north, plenty of folks out heading out for lunch or whatever the case may be on a beautiful day. We started yesterday 1 degree above normal and made it 2 degrees above normal. So that's 2, almost 3 days in a row where we've been average, which again is unusual here in the 4 states. 76 in Joplin right now, 74 in Pittsburgh. We're heading above average. We've got low 70s in some of our northern counties. Most of us hovering right around the mid 70s with some upper 70s down a little further south. So Miami, Grove, Welch, Jay, kind of get the idea. A little further south, it's a little warmer. All of us eventually will make it to about 80 or very close to. Skies will be clear through the evening. Late evening, we start to see some partly cloudy skies. And we could see a couple of isolated storms late tonight as well. And that kicks off at least the next several days of some rain chances, which we'll break down in detail for you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. We'll see you soon. Well, the residents of Carl Junction have just begun to clean up the debris from heavy winds that tore through town Sunday. The National Weather Service has confirmed that it was an EF1 tornado. The National Weather Service has also confirmed there were no serious injuries, but the town is dealing with storm damage to structures, trees, and power lines after a scary event.
It was about 2 o'clock and me and my dad got in the storm shelter over here and we just kept hearing all the wind. I had my ears plugged the whole time, but he was trying to support me so that I wouldn't get upset because I hate tornadoes.
Public Works are out right now around the building cleaning up here. Last night they made sure all the roads, there was a couple of trees down, one out at Barbrook and Tanglewood and a couple here in power lines down. They made sure that those areas were cleared and secured, and so that emergency vehicles could get through.
The mayor of Carl Junction expresses his gratitude towards the residents who stepped up in their time of need. And help continues coming into Barton County, Missouri. The National Weather Service has confirmed that it was an EF0 tornado and there were no serious injuries. As residents clean up there, the Red Cross also got to town yesterday. The emergency management says they set up in the lobby at the Theobald Auditorium with tarps, cleanup kits, and other supplies. Workers are also there to help assess any property damage to see if financial help is available. Now, much of the damage was to power lines and trees. Officials also ask folks to keep an eye on social media for updates on how volunteers can sign up to help. We have more information on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. A lot of people across Missouri are cleaning up after our Easter Sunday storms, including one family in Wright County east of Springfield. Nick Kelly reports on the damage to a home in Mansfield and what to keep in mind if you need to file an insurance claim.
While survey crews are working to determine if wind or tornadoes caused damage across the Ozarks, Bryson Kingery is cleaning up after Easter Sunday. He was at home with friends and family in Mansfield when the severe thunderstorm and tornado warning went out for Wright County.
Me and my girlfriend, we was just standing on the porch, looking out the field, watching the rain come, and next thing you know, we just heard a loud crash.
At the very least, strong winds passed over the house up on Highway 5. Trees came down and damaged the back deck, backyard, vehicles on the property, and parts of the house. One tree in particular caused the roof and ceiling to leak and cave in near the kitchen and laundry room. It didn't take long after the storm for Kingery and others to get to work.
Pretty much after it happened, I walked out and was looking at all the damage and what was going on. We started working on the roof like around 9.
Fortunately, even on an Easter Sunday, friends and family of the Kingerys were not too far away with chainsaws and helping hands ready to go to start cleaning up this mess and get it reported to insurance.
I always tell my clients, you're going to expect at least 24 to 36 hours, for them to respond. Sometimes it can be 48, especially if we had a bunch of claims in one area. Don't be impatient. They'll reach out to you.
On top of promptly reporting damage to your insurance company like the Kingerys did, one of the biggest things insurance agents want people with storm damage to know is how you and your policy will handle the claims.
Most homeowners insurance policies this year went to 1% deductible or 2% or a flat deductible. Know your coverages. Have a file with your insurance adjusters. Name and number.
As for Kingery, while he won't be solely in charge of cleaning up, he knows there's more work to do.
I'm not sure how long it'll take, honestly, but hopefully not too long.
Well, in Miami, residents have been dealing with several flooded roads, but most, if not all, are now back open. A concern moving forward is the Riverview Park area. Now, the park itself is still flooded, and while the Grand River Dam Authority is releasing some water, the Miami mayor, Les Parker, is concerned they're not releasing enough right now.
It's because GRDA goes against their license, floods whatever they want to flood, and doesn't get held accountable. Our legislators won't hold them accountable. That's at the state and federal level. They won't hold them accountable because they're too profitable. So what happens is they're allowing it to happen because of power, money, and greed.
Now, the city and a group of Miami property owners have an ongoing lawsuit against the Grand River Dam Authority, claiming policies surrounding the dam have contributed repetitive flooding in Miami. And as the weather warms in our area, keep your eye out for an increased number of road crews. Now, to that point, MoDOT kicked off Work Zone Awareness Week with an event in Joplin yesterday. The department joined with the Missouri Highway Patrol at the Joplin Regional Office to bring awareness to work zone safety, not just in terms of fines for drivers, but the potential loss of life as well. Well, coming up, preparations are underway for the funeral of Pope Francis. And later, we're making roasted sweet onions in the Mr. Food test kitchen. Well, preparations are underway for the funeral of Pope Francis as leaders of the Catholic Church begin gathering to decide the future of the papacy. The Vatican announced this morning that a solemn service for the Holy Father will take place this Saturday in St. Peter's Square, with thousands expected to attend. Tony Aiello reports from Rome.
Catholic cardinals are gathering at the Vatican to finalize plans to honor Pope Francis and eventually choose his successor. Senior clergy and Vatican officials paid their respects to Francis Tuesday during an intimate service at the Santa Marta Hotel, where he laid in a coffin, adorned in a red robe and papal mitre. The first images of the late pontiff came on the same day Vatican officials announced his funeral will be held Saturday in St. Peter's Square.
There is a sense of a void that is somehow going to have to be filled, but coupled with that immediately is also the intrigue of what comes next.
The 88-year-old who died Easter Monday after a stroke that caused heart failure left behind specific instructions for a simple burial at Rome's Basilica of St. Mary Major, with a one-word inscription on his tomb, Franciscus, his name in Latin. There will be chanting in Latin as Pope Francis's body is moved in a solemn procession on Wednesday from Santa Marta to St. Peter's Basilica, where he will lie in state until the funeral and burial.
Pope Francis almost had like a radar for people who were left behind.
CBS Evening News co-anchor Maurice Dubois spoke with Cardinal Timothy Dolan, who was part of the conclave that selected Pope Francis 12 years ago.
They're going to see some mourning, they're going to see some gratitude, they're going to see some hope, and then they're going to see people say, we need to get to work.
The Cardinals will be choosing a date after Saturday's funeral to begin their conclave to elect the Church's next leader. Tony Aiello, CBS News, Rome.
World leaders are already making their way to Rome to attend Pope Francis's funeral. President Trump confirmed on social media that he plans to attend along with First Lady Melania Trump. And still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
It's Earth Day, and to celebrate, we're cooking up a veg that grows underground. And the way we're making it might surprise you. Stick around.
And while we've got a pretty pleasant day today, we are tracking storm chances over the next several days. The latest when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So we've again had a pretty fantastic day today, and I know after really the last few weeks of severe weather, a lot of folks doing a lot of cleanup and recovery, continuing to do so. And at least for now, Mother Nature is cooperating. Live look downtown Pittsburgh. Again, you can see a few clouds out there, but it is by no means enough to stop the sun from shining on through, giving us a very warm day. Unfortunately, we also still have a number of river, stream, and creek flood warnings. Our aerial flood advisories and county-wide flood warnings are gone, but still, remember the turnaround, don't drown. If you know your route's taking you through flood-prone areas, make sure you're using that alternate route at least through tomorrow, possibly as late as Thursday. The problem, though, is we're eventually going to start to see more rain chances across the area. Now, not today. Looks pretty good. It'll be very late tonight into early tomorrow morning, and we could get a few isolated showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms out there. The better chances are going to be in this zone right through here, and one or two of those storms may be a bit on the strong side, but we're not anticipating anything significant. In reality, at this point, not really looking at any kind of major severe weather over the next few days with these rain chances. That won't really start to pick up again until next week, but we will have to deal with scattered showers and storms. Now, most of our Wednesday, we should be dry, and then by late Wednesday into Thursday, we get another batch of showers and storms, initially mainly in our western counties, but as we go through the day Thursday, this whole system bands together. Now we've got this line of storms. Now, I know it looks nasty, but at least as of right now, there's not a significant severe threat with this activity. We'll watch it, though, but it's also lining up with some of the other odd times we've been experiencing thunderstorm activity in the area. This is 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. This line will sink on through. Here it is by noon from Stockton, Lamar, Pittsburgh, back toward Coffeyville, and out towards Sedan and Howard into Elk and Chautauqua counties. By about 5, it's starting to break up. What is left primarily along and south of I-44, and a little later into our Thursday, just a few remaining scattered showers and storms. So here's our severe weather outlook over the next 3 days. We have this low risk with just that elevated, barely clipping Greenwood County for tonight's storms into early tomorrow morning. Then our afternoon storms tomorrow, it's a low risk, it's a little broader, but it's still a 1 out of 5 risk. So it's not major. We could see a strong storm or two. Now, Thursday, as I mentioned, despite how it kind of looks on the future track, that low risk just barely clipping our far western counties, otherwise general thunderstorms. That does change as we head into next week, which we will talk about in a moment. All right, rest of today, most of us right about 80. Clear skies out there, south winds 5 to 10. Partly cloudy tonight. Again, some of us maybe an isolated shower or storm back into the upper 50s, so another mild evening. And then still warm tomorrow. Keep an eye on the possibility of some isolated thunderstorms later in the day before we head into our Thursday. Now we go through the weekend, more scattered showers and storms are possible. But it's late Monday into Tuesday that we're watching. We get a cold front, we get showers and storms lining up along this, and some of those potentially could be strong, possibly severe from late Monday into Tuesday. So that's why when we take the extended severe weather outlook to what they call day 7, which at this point is next Monday, you can see a good portion of the area, at least in this possible risk. Now, this is going to change a lot over the next few days, but we still want to keep an eye on it. It's kind of a heads up that we are watching again and Monday night into Tuesday. In between here and there, though, we are looking good temperature-wise into the 70s, near 80 again by next Monday. So again, right now, no significant severe weather expected in the next few days, but we are certainly going to watch Thursday, and we're absolutely watching next Monday and Tuesday.
All right, just enjoy now till then.
Exactly.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, stick around. We're making roasted sweet onions in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. To celebrate Earth Day, we're using one of the best natural ingredients. Today, Howard's making roasted sweet onions in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Today is Earth Day, a day when the whole world comes together to celebrate the earth and show support for protecting it. And whether that means you plant a tree, pitch in to clean up a beach, or get involved in a fundraiser to help protect our environment, I want to thank you. So in honor of the day, we thought it'd be appropriate to share a recipe that showcases a vegetable that grows underground. It's these sweet onions, and watch what we do with them. We start by trimming both ends of 3 large sweet onions. And even though it's tempting to peel them, make sure you leave the skins on these. Next, we place each onion on a piece of foil, drizzle them with olive oil, season them with salt and pepper, and top each one with a sprig or 2 of fresh thyme. Then we'll wrap them loosely and pop them in the oven to slow roast until they're super tender. After these come out and you unwrap them, simply peel back the skin and dig in. Thanks to our slow roasting method, every onioning bite features that creamy, sweet, buttery texture that we love. The recipe for our roasted sweet onions is online now and is perfect for Earth Day or any day. I'm Howard of the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found straight from the Earth way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can find the recipe on KOAMnewsnow.com. Now, here are the 4-state market prices.
And not a bad day for us today. Could have a few isolated storms overnight, early tomorrow. A few more again by tomorrow afternoon. A few more scattered storms for us on Thursday. A few more of us getting rain then. Still no severe threat Thursday, but we'll keep an eye on it. And then scattered storms through next Tuesday with that possible severe threat Monday into Tuesday.
We need more opportunity to dry out a bit.
We certainly do, and this just isn't enough.
Apparently not.
Chris, thanks. Dalvia for Slater on.
Whole lot's coming up at 5. For starters, the Education Department announced that it'll soon begin collecting payments for student loans that are in default. We're going to break down which borrowers could be impacted. Plus, a community effort to clean up Joplin on this Earth Day. And the city of Lamar, Missouri is coordinating volunteers to help with storm damage, the cleanup there. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course, coming up on KOAM News at 5.
All right, Dal, thanks. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. Have a great rest of your day.